Well, inflation is scalding hot. That's our top story today on the Wall Report. I'm your host, Greta Wall. Consumer prices hit a fresh 40-year high in February as inflation continues to heat up. The Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index surged 7.9% year over year last month and 0.8% monthly. Now, both of those readings came in higher than expectations and are the highest since early 1982. Energy prices continue to lead the gains as gas prices soared 38%. Grocery prices, meantime, were also up 8.6%, and used car and truck prices skyrocketed 41.2%. The core CPI, meantime, which excludes food and energy prices, was in line with economists' expectations, rising 0.5% monthly and 6.4% annually. Now, that data is dragging down the major indices today as those inflation pressures are expected to get even worse. The February data does not reflect the surge in energy prices seen this month amid the war in Ukraine. And oil prices are back on the rise today after cooling Wednesday. West Texas Intermediate crude futures are up about 1% to just under $110 per barrel. Brent crude prices, meantime, rising 1.6% to over $112 per barrel. Wednesday marked the largest one-day drop for WTI prices since November, tumbling 12.5%. It was also the largest single-day decline for Brent since April of 2020, as prices fell 13%. And U.S. gas prices did reach a new record high for the third day in a row today. The national average for a gallon of regular gas jumped to $4.31. And now the latest on Ukraine. High-level talks between Russia and Ukraine failed today. Ukraine was looking to establish a 24-hour ceasefire to allow civilians to safely leave the country. They also want to establish a safe passage humanitarian corridor in and out of the southern Ukrainian city of Mariupol. But the Russian and Ukrainian foreign ministers met for just an hour and a half in Turkey with no resolution. The Ukrainian foreign minister said Moscow's leaders, quote, live in their own reality after they denied Russian attacks on civilians at a hospital in Ukraine. And with that conflict continuing to escalate, more U.S. businesses are pulling out of Russia. Goldman Sachs becoming the first major Wall Street bank to shut down its operations in the country. Goldman shares following the broader market lower in today's session. The investment bank said it's working to wind down its operations in Russia and is, quote, focused on supporting its clients across the globe in managing or closing out pre-existing obligations in the market. Now, taking a look at the other economic data of the day today, weekly jobless claims rose more than expected last week. Labor Department reporting that 227,000 Americans filed initial claims for unemployment benefits. That was up 11,000 from the previous week and higher than expectations for 216,000. Continuing claims also rose by 18,000 to 1.49 million in the week ending March 5th versus expectations for just 1.34 million. Now, meantime, Congress is now facing a government shutdown deadline tomorrow. The House passed a $1.5 trillion omnibus spending bill Wednesday, sending it on to the Senate. Now, that legislation would fund the government through the end of the fiscal year on September 30th. But the Senate may not be able to pass it before the shutdown deadline tomorrow. The House is said to be considering a short-term bill to bridge the gap and give the upper chamber more time. Now, the omnibus includes nearly $14 billion in humanitarian and security aid for Ukraine, but Democrats were forced to scrap more than $15 billion in COVID relief funding after Republicans said that issue was a non-starter. And Amazon is finally doing what we've all been waiting for. The tech giant's shares are rallying today after announcing a 20-for-1 stock split following the market close on Wednesday. The company also plans to buy back $10 billion worth of stock. Now, the stock will split after the close on Friday, June 3rd, and begin trading on a split-adjusted basis at the open on Monday, June 6th. Let me know in the comments, does this split make you interested in buying Amazon stock? It'll be a lot easier to do so come June. I'll see you all back here for the Wall Report tomorrow. Be sure to give this video a like before you go and hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell as well.